Good, Jeff? Okay, we'd like to welcome Alex Fitzpatrick into the interview room, making his Wyndham Championship debut. Alex, you just got off the golf course. If we can get your comments on being here this week and also playing at Sedgefield.
Yeah, it's super nice to be here. It feels a lot like a home game this week, so I've already had a lot of support, which is pretty cool. I'm actually staying downtown in Winston-Salem, so I'm making the trip back and forth from there. And yeah, I went to campus the other day, saw it all again, and brings back a lot of good memories.
Before we go into questions, let's talk a little bit about your season. 5 top 10s and 10 starts. Obviously, you and your brother won at Zurich. Comment a little bit about the trajectory that your career has taken now on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, it's a trajectory that 5 months ago I didn't see happening. I felt like my game was in a good spot, but obviously it's one of the craziest things that I could ever imagine happened. And I'm very thankful that I have great people around me and a lot of good guidance and advice, and feel like I work really hard, and yeah, happy. Maybe if you'd have told me 5 months ago, I'd have told you you're the biggest liar I've ever met. But yeah, here we are. And
now number 19 in the FedExCup standings. 4 big weeks coming up. Just talk a little bit about your mindset.
Yeah, if you want me to be honest, I think this might be one of the most relaxed times I think I've been around on the golf course. I think this is all a bonus for me, and it's all been very surreal for me. I feel like I'm playing good golf, and I feel like if I play well, I can compete. But I think in terms of the stress factor, it's not as bad as it was last year when I was fighting to keep my card. So yeah, every week is a bonus for me, and just excited to go out there and hopefully show them what I have.
All right, great. If you'll raise your hand, we'll get a microphone to you. Let's start right here in the third row.
Hi, Alex. Since you came on tour, only Scottie Scheffler, Cameron Young, and your brother have actually played better than you from tee to green. How does that feel to kind of keep that caliber company already? And like you said, is it kind of a surprise how fast things have gone?
You say my brother was beating me on tee to green?
Yeah. Since you came on tour, maybe not season long.
No, it's amazing to have my name even in the same sentence as them four. Yeah, I think, again, I've made a couple changes at the start of last year or at the end of last year that were important, and I think it goes to show that I feel like I picked the right people to surround myself with, and I have a lot of trust in them people, and yeah, I'm, hopefully that can keep getting better, and that's the goal. I think as long as I can keep improving little by little, then that's the most important thing for me, and hopefully the putting gets a little better, and hopefully that means some better results.
All right, John, right here.
You're not staying with Jerry downtown, are you?
No, I'm not, no.
Does this course, playing Old Town all those years at Wake, does that help you a little bit on these down on Ross courses? Or what's your take on playing another Ross course?
I wouldn't, in all honesty, say it does. Old Town, I think, is a very different style of golf course than this one. I think Old Town is much more of a second shot golf course. I think this one requires a lot of great tee shots to find the fairways, and I think that's what separates the two. But I think just being around this area and being around this golf course beforehand has definitely helped. And yeah, I'm just excited to get out there. It's my first Wyndham, and I've been looking forward to this one for a long time.
All right, Adam?
When you say you didn't think this would happen the way it has, what do you think your game was lacking? Why do you say that?
I think almost a bit of everything. I think tee to green, driver for a long time was always the one thing that I struggled with most. Driver and putter were the two things that kept popping up as to why my game wasn't getting any better. I feel like my approach play has always been pretty good, so that was always something that I could rely on. But since kind of making them changes, before making the changes, that's where I always had what I felt was a lot of self-belief, but I just never really saw the results fall my way. And whereas obviously these past 4 months making these changes and seeing where my long game is, I feel like if I put well now, I can compete. And I think that's the big thing for me, was I didn't have that 5 months ago.
Have you crossed paths with Jackson Coibin at all, and what do you make of what he's been able to do so far?
I have not. I saw him on the putting green on Monday. Obviously, seems to be an incredible player. I don't think there wasn't anything in college he apparently didn't win. It's weird. Once you're out the college game, I feel like I haven't paid as much attention, but obviously you hear about kids like him who, or if there is anyone that does what he does, and you know, as much as he's a great golfer, I've heard he's a nice kid, which I think is the more important thing. So yeah, good luck to him. He's obviously an amazing player, and I'll be excited to play against him.
All right, Ryan.
You sound like the least stressed person during what's supposed to be the most stressful time of year. Just curious how you balance feeling calm and comfortable with also the, you know, inherent hunger to try and win at this level.
Yeah, I think the hunger never really goes away. You know, you come here every week with the intention to win. That's ultimately the goal of every tournament you play. But you know, I'm comparing myself to last October, where I was fighting for my card, and I'm in a super privileged position now where I don't have to stress about keeping my card for a little bit. So I think I'm just trying to take it all in, and also I think with a lot going on just outside of golf, you realize that golf is great, but it's also not you as a person, and I think that's where you see videos like Scottie Scheffler talking about his life outside of golf and what's important, and I think you've got to try and take that away and onto the golf course so you're not as stressed and annoyed out there.
You think you play your best golf while under stress and duress, or when you're playing freedom?
When I'm my happiest, I play my best golf. Definitely notice that out there on the golf course, and as much as it makes you stressed out there, if you can, you're not always going to be happy, and that's absolutely fine. But I think the happier I can be away from golf course, it seems to correlate.
All right, John, and then JB.
Alex, do you maybe appreciate this more, that you didn't hit it right out of college, that you had a few years of toiling? I mean, do you appreciate this more where you've come from?
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, my route was a funky one. I think I did a little bit of time on PGA Tour Canada, and I did Corn Ferry final stage, and then I did Challenge Tour, and yeah, I felt like I traveled a lot all over the world to try and get to where I am today, and definitely I think you appreciate the grind a bit more. I think that's what you love to do, but it's also the hard part is you have to work incredibly hard to be here, and I'm glad that a lot of my sacrifices and where I played my golf has allowed me to be where I am today.
What's the best part of the PGA Tour compared to all those other tours?
That's a great question. I just dreamed about being on this tour since I was a kid. I used to play the video game back in the day as much as I possibly can. So seeing all the courses and then playing them has been the most amazing thing. But just this is exactly where I wanted to be when I grew up. So yeah, I'm just the little Alex now would be kicking himself for that.
All right, John, third row.
Hey, Alex, could you talk a little bit more about the difference in your life since Zurich, and just mentally and feeling good and everything? And do you think, are you happy? Obviously you're happy, but could you talk about how you've kind of, if anybody was critical that you got your card because your brother and you won a tournament, that you kind of followed up and showed that you belong?
Yeah, I think, yeah, after Zurich, I guess my life really did change. Like I went from not having anywhere to live at home apart from my parents' place because it was expensive and I'm trying to save money, to suddenly moving to America and finding a house over here and having my own space. I think that was the biggest thing for me. But the stress of trying to keep your card and trying to play good golf and expectations I put on myself, I managed to tick all my boxes of goals that I wanted to do this year and more. I think that was the most amazing thing for me was I had all these goals of getting a PGA Tour card via the top 10 of the DP World Tour and getting to race to Dubai. They were all goals I wanted to achieve, and then that kind of was blown out the water. And I think other things going on outside of golf in my life that have just made me really happy. And yeah, I think that's why I'm thankful to be here. And then I'll be brutally honest, I forgot your second question.
I was just talking about kind of proving yourself once you weren't playing in a team today.
Yeah, no, coming in after the Zurich, I think there was always going to be the case of is he good enough to be out here? Does he deserve it? Did your brother carry you? And the answer is yes, he did carry me for a little bit, but I felt like I moved my fair share of weight in that tournament. And yeah, I think I was hungry and eager to show that I belong here, and I felt like I played well enough to show that, and I feel like the guys out here were so nice to me, and I would hope that they also believe that I belong out here now. So that was the main thing.
Okay. Next, yep, back up to John.
You and Alistair were roommates, right, at Wake? Alistair Johnson, were you guys roommates? or
No,
just
no,
friends?
he
Okay.
he dated one of the girls I lived with in
That's
my
right. That's right.
junior and senior year.
You guys are still friends, though. Talk
Still
about
really
that
close,
that
yeah.
experience with him playing and connect for the World Cup for Canada and all that.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's funny. Soccer is football is is still my favorite sport in the world. Is way better than golf. But yeah, like it's so nice to kind of speak to someone from a different sport and hear kind of their experiences, their side of things, and for him to be at Wake with me and then move up his ranks from Montreal to obviously Celtic now is an amazing achievement for him, and I'm hoping that he'll get to a move to the Premier League if any of the Premier League clubs out there want to sign him. But yeah, he's an amazing person. I've got so much respect for him, and it's just really cool seeing two Wake alumni do what they wanted to do growing up.
All right, couple more. Yep, go ahead.
I know Matt was quite hesitant to sing after you guys won at Zurich in New Orleans earlier this year. If things do go your way, or are you willing to lead the crowd at the course of Wonderwall, throwback to the English national team?
I have the worst voice you could imagine, so I will not be doing any singing. I can hype up the crowd, but I won't be singing. That's for sure.
All right, anything else? Yep, Adam.
You're in great shape for the playoffs, but do you sense tension rising this week?
No, being honest. No, I don't. I don't know how to explain it. I think, again, I'm really lucky to be here. This is a tournament that I wanted to play for a long, long time. I know that this is one of the stressful weeks for the players out here, and I'm very fortunate that, luckily for me, that's not me this week.
Right, not for you, but the other guys that are maybe outside the bubble of making the playoffs. Do you anything?
I don't think you really see it from an outsider's perspective. I'm sure, pretty much all the golfers, it'll be more of an internal stress. I don't think they will try and show that they're stressed, but that's just part of it. I think once Thursday comes around, I'm sure there'll be they'll feel a lot of tension on the golf course, and that's just all part of it. That's part of the game. But yeah, I haven't noticed anyone being too crazy yet.
What's something off the course that's helped contribute to your happiness?
It's a great question. I think just the feeling of freedom to do what I want and be where I want to be. I've been spending some time in New York with my girlfriend, and that's been super nice to kind of have a rest and completely reset. I think as much as it's been such a great year, I think I needed some time to kind of like recover and take it all in, and I think that was really nice for me to kind of put it all to one side and enjoy life outside of golf for a little bit.
All right. Alex, we appreciate your time. Best of luck this week.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.